Good morning, everyone. This is Miss Ansira. We're going to get started in about 2 or 3 minutes. We're just going to let other people join in. All right, families and students, we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome all of you all this morning. I'm Laura Ancira, proud principal here at the junior school. We will be discussing today the same PowerPoint presentation, the slideshow that was shared with all of y'all on Tuesday of this week. We would like to leave the floor open for questions towards the end so that in case we should be able to address most of the questions at this point in time. Otherwise, we will address them through our Q&A. So we do have, before we get started, I would like to introduce a few individuals that are joining, staff members joining us at this point in time. We have Mr. Rene Gomez, who is one of our assistant principals. He'll wave right there. We have Ms. Liz Aguirre, or another assistant principal. We have Ms. Claudia Gonzalez, our counselor. And I think Mike Snell, there he is, our other counselor as well, Mr. Mike Snell. Thank you, guys. At this point in time, I do want to express that the fact that this video is being recorded just for parents and families that are not able to join us today. So, and they're able to also go back, and you all can also go back and listen to this as well. I'm going to go ahead and get started and present. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see my face or not, or I won't be able to see your faces, but I do want to make sure we do cover all the information in a certain amount of time and then open the floor for questions. So I'll be presenting at this time. Rene, can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes. Do you want to just click on present there?
Yes, the present. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, we can see it.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, parents and students, this is just a welcome of the first slide for the slideshow. And just a reminder to all of us, our administration is here to support all of y'all, as well as our counseling department. All this information, you can reach out to us via email, or you can visit our offices Monday through Friday from 8:15 to 4:15. With the exception of Tuesday of next week, we will be closing the morning part of the session just because of professional development. So we'll be sharing that through the communication that will go out with all of us, to all of you all next week as well. So just a reminder, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about schedules, procedures, processes, beginning of the year questions, more specifics, please reach out to us. And just FYI, if you notice my name, principal, it does have Martha Wagner. That is my secretary. She does help me filter emails. So any email that goes to her, just know that I will see it as well. Just a reminder, Mule Market, everyone, it is open. Part of the Mule Market, I just want to remind all of us that we do have our student planners also as well. So please purchase your student planner and many other items that the Mule Market is offering. Your support is greatly appreciated. Just some highlights about schedules. As I stated on my video this week, students will be able to see their schedules, parents and students, this next Wednesday, August the 11th. And there are 3 ways that you can access your schedule. If you're a 6th grade student, you can access your schedule on Wednesday during Mule Camp of next week in the auditorium starting at 8:30 a.m. And then also 7th and 8th grade, we will have a scheduled pickup day from 1 to 3, and that will be in the girls' gym. Just want to remind everyone that that's like an in and out type of a experience, but I do know that kids sometimes hang around our students to talk to each other, and that's okay too. They haven't seen each other for some time, but I'll just know that that is not that long to just access the schedule. And then of course, all students that are not able to join us face to face, it will be accessible for all of y'all through HAC, Home Access Center, at noon. All of these choices of a schedule of availability are next Wednesday, August 11th. And then in case your student does lose their schedule, it happens and it's okay. Just know that every single student will have access to their first period class on the first day of school. That information will be available throughout our campus, and there will be adults guiding our students on the first day of school, because what really makes the schedule official is the one that their first period teacher gives them. We call it the gold schedule, and that is what they will receive during their first period class on the first day of school. Just schedule changes. We have had some parents ask about this information. Just if there are any schedule errors could be a student could be missing a core content class, double booked for a class, maybe not assigned a lunch. We want to make sure they're able to eat and all that good stuff. You please contact these counselors that are listed here by this alphabet, and they will help you with these schedule changes. These schedule errors and changes are priority anything else, because we want to make sure that our students have the right schedule by the first day of school. So anything you see, anything missing, any errors, please contact our counselors right away. And again, you'll have access to that schedule next week on Wednesday. Now, if you enlisted for an elective, but you didn't want to change the elective, just a reminder, please tell your student to pick up a form. It is a schedule change request form from the counseling office. Those will be available since the first day of school. Go pick up the form. The form needs to go home because it does need approval from parent. And then you just have to list what you would like to change. We do have a window where we close all changes, and that will be Friday, August the 20th by 4 p.m. And so just so you know, please ensure that you send your student to the counseling office if there is a change request in regarding an elective. And just know that it does take a little bit of time because we do prioritize the schedule errors first to make sure that our children are in the right place at the right time. If you are on wait for the elective schedule change request, like you're still on hold, the student needs to continue to follow their regular schedule until the changes occur. I do want to spend some time on Screentime, parents. Screentime. The only highlight, yes, like I said, I did share my input on Screentime through the video that was shared with all of y'all on Tuesday morning. But I just want to highlight and emphasize our recommitment of our just the Screentime. I want to remind all of us. Those of you that have been with us for more than 2 years or so, right before that pandemic, we were launching an initiative to ensure that screen time is being utilized in the classroom setting as in an appropriate manner. So basically our big emphasis and focus, we are going to recommit to blended learning. And this slideshow really tells you about how we should be utilizing technology in our classrooms. And just a reminder that we will not be handing out Chromebooks on an individual basis to check out. It will be more to use in the classroom setting. So each classroom will have a computer card. And just the focus, we will collect meaningful information for our students that impacts pathway of learning moving forward. We will leverage technology, parents and students, to allow for personalized small group instruction, including one-on-one with a teacher. And then we will intentionally ground the digital with the physical and encourage the use of handwriting to help cement learning with students. And basically, in a nutshell, what that means is that you should be able, as a principal, I'm walking into a classroom to do a walkthrough, I should be able to see a combination of students working in a small group, maybe using technology, another group of students working together, maybe using paper and pencil and technology activities, and then a teacher working with students one-on-one support or in a small group. And that is known as blended learning best practices. And then parents, just a reminder that school supplies lists are actually, you can find them on our webpage. This screen will show you exactly under which tab, which is under the student and parent tab. And it is by grade level. Please keep in mind that this is a general list that will require for you to buy or request for you to buy pencils, paper, etc. There will be some requests, individualized requests from teachers, like if a calculator will be needed, etc., graph paper, or any of that. That will come home from teachers or your own child giving you information on what's needed. This is basically just general school supplies list. One of those things that is, I'm just going to highlight, is just to ensure that you please get some earbuds that are not wireless. We do ensure that our children have, if you can please purchase several of those, because they do tend to get lost easily. They have several, that the children will have some in their lockers, some in their backpack, and some to carry around or just keep at home. Those earbuds, hopefully you can find some good bargains out there, either at the dollar store, Walmart, etc., Target. But please purchase. I'm just going to focus on that one particular supply list because they will use them a lot in the classroom. Some athletics information, parents, just a reminder that on Monday for girls, August 9th, which is this coming Monday at 5 p.m., there will be a junior school volleyball informational meeting, and it's going to be all for 7th and 8th grade incoming girls. It looks like it is going to be Google Meet, so there's a link there for you to join. On the boys' end, there will be a football informational meeting on Thursday, August 12th at 10 a.m. in the competition gym at the junior school. That competition gym is also known as the boys' gym, and this will be for incoming 7th and 8th graders as well, 7th and 8th grade students. And then some other general information for Thursday. You can tell it's going to be a busy week next week. From 8 to 10, physicals, please turn in, locker handout. There will be uniform purchases and football pad handout. And it is by increments. So 8th grade boys is from 8 to 9, 7th grade boys is from 9 to 10, and 7th and 8th grade girls from 8 to 10. And for all our athletes out there that are interested in cross country, there will be a parent meeting as well on that Thursday, August 12th, but it will be in the afternoon at 4:30 in the junior school auditorium. And just below that, parents, there are some important links for you to please access for physical link or rank one. And then just a reminder, crucial, that we have physicals because they must be on file in order for students or athletes to participate in any athletic activity. Just one highlight for our fine arts. There will be a theater camp on Saturday, August 14th from 8 to 6. At the Alamo Heights High School auditorium and at the Black Box, excuse me. And this is for all students that are in the 6th through 12th grade theater students. This is also, there will be an informational parent meeting that will follow at 6:15. So if you're wondering who to contact, actually, when you watch this slideshow and you don't play it the way I'm playing it right now to share, you should have some contact information in the bottom, which is actually Ms. Terry Buenteo. She's our junior school fine arts teacher, theater arts teacher, and Ms. Shelley Bynum as well. You will find their contact emails there. And then just mark your calendars, parents. This is happening today. The virtual principal chat meeting is today. And then a big reminder for our 6th grade meal camp for Wednesday for next week, 8:30. And there will be some communication that will go out from administration only to 6th grade parents with some final details to share and some friendly reminders. And then, of course, our 7th and 8th grade scheduled pickup day. It's a window from 1 to 3 in the girls' gym, also next Wednesday. And then just know that if you cannot attend the scheduled pickup or the meal camp, that you will also be privy to their child's schedule on that same day, starting at noon through HAC. And then some other highlights, also just campus tours, parents. We do want to ensure we welcome our new to the district students, 7th and 8th grade, because obviously our 6th grade students will have already attended the meal camp. But 7th and 8th grade students and any students, parents that were enrolled last year for most of the Heights at Home classes or all year, they do need some accessibility to the building and some guidance. So you're invited on Wednesday, 8/11, also at 2 p.m. So let's say you want to bring your child at 1:30, pick up their schedule, and we'll make sure they want to participate in this tour because they're new to the district, etc. Then they will go to the auditorium at 2 p.m. And then just some back to school nights, parents, put these on your calendar. Just a 6th grade back to school night is August 24th at 6 p.m. And for 7th and 8th grade, it will be August 31st at 6 p.m. And just a reminder about our school hours from 8:45 to 4 p.m. Just so you know, at the first period bell rings at 8:35, and then the late bell rings at 8:45. So by 8:45, all students are seated and ready to learn in their first period class. And then just morning drop off. Some of you have been asking some parents, how early can I drop off my child? The only area that has supervision as early as 7:30 is in the library. So that is a pretty busy area, and it is utilized by our families and our students. So that's okay. Just know that is available, but it will not be available on the first day of school. Just so you know, all other morning drop-off areas, parents have supervision for your children starting in 8:15. And those morning drop-offs are courtyard and cafeteria. If you're wondering about maps and how do I get to the junior school, where do I drop off my child, that will be shared with all of y'all next week. And then one after school option that I do want to just put out there is that we do have some extended care availability for a small fee. I will encourage you to visit this website that is here. This is our Junior School Excel program, and you can visit the website for more information. It's pretty thorough. And then thank you again, parents. Stay tuned for our preseason communication week 3, where I will be sharing some campus maps and some final information regarding our beginning of the school year. We're excited about welcoming our students. At this time, I just want to remind everyone that we do have a Q&A form that was shared with all families and students, well, families mainly, obviously, last week, or it could have been this week, excuse me, from our parent face-to-face meeting. Some parents felt super bad that they couldn't attend, but just know that that meeting was recorded. So I would like to open the floor. If you would like to ask any questions, or if you would like to add it on the chat, it's okay as well, so that we can answer any questions you may have about schedules, about backpacks, about anything you would like to ask. Okay, that's a good question. Let me go to the chat right here. And it says, number one, it says, how do sixth grade students need a physical for PE classes, or a physicals only for 7th and 8th grade? That's a very good question. No, you do not need a physical for 6th grade students. And it's only for 7th and 8th grade that are in the athletics program. And then how long does a 6th grade meal camp go on? Thank you very much. I appreciate that for bringing that up, Josh. It's at 8:30 and it ends at 11. And we're going to send those details again to our 6th grade families pretty soon. And then the other question is, if physicals were completed in the spring at the junior school, did the school keep a copy, or do we need to return it? I'm going to make sure that all parents that submitted their physicals in the spring, that you get some sort of follow-up communication from our athletic coordinators, which is Mr. Mark Bond for the boys athletics and Ms. Carla Stanford for our girls athletics. So I'm going to make sure that you all get that response, okay, because that's important. And then for us new parents, what is back to school nights? Thank you very much for asking. Back to school nights are a big deal. They're a big deal, and they look different. They look different at the high school, very different also for the elementaries. And for the junior school, it's basically the parents get an opportunity to visit with every single teacher that is part of their child's schedule. I will tell you that it's a beautiful experience. And you only get to visit for like 8 minutes, 8 to 9, but it means the world. You're able to ask questions. Our teachers know that we have about 8 minutes to tell parents so they can feel excited that their child is part of their class. So that's a main focus. Don't think it really deals a lot with procedures and all that. It's really just mainly introducing themselves, and then they open the floor at times for questions. And if they don't, then they'll figure out a way how you can reach out to them. Now, this has been an experience that we have had parents that has been face-to-face. And last year, we did it virtual. The only thing I will tell you about the virtual experience, because I'm going on my 9th year with this experience, parents. And the only thing that I will say that we still have to decide whether we're going to do it virtual or face-to-face. But what I really was excited about the virtual piece was the amount of participation. Because when it's here, parents are rushing, etc., and not a lot, the participation is not as high. But when we did it last year, and I know it was a pandemic, but it really increased our participation with not only parents, but also students. You could see on the screen where the student was able to participate with their parent, and it just brings an extra nice highlight there of connection, although it's virtual. So we had a positive experience, but we'll give you more notification as to how we're going to handle that as we get closer to those dates. But super powerful. You get to visit with all teachers, and it's fun. Next question about transportation. When does the late bus run for my 7th grade in sports? And I'm going to see if I know maybe Miss Liz Aguirre is available. Like, she was doing some research for us, because it doesn't start right away, Jenny. It does. Yeah. So if you don't mind, Liz.
It starts the Tuesday after Labor Day.
So it's the Tuesday after Labor Day. I knew it was just about several weeks. And that, Liz, can you confirm that has been added to our Q&A?
Yes, ma'am, it has.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So just so you know, Jenny, that is the answer to that question. If our 6th grader is missing Mule Camp, when will they be able to decorate their lockers? Yes, good question. Guys, 6th graders, lockers, big deal. And I think it's going to be a big deal for our 7th grade current students, because they obviously didn't get to experience last year. So it's a big deal. So if they don't get to experience that during Mule Camp, just know that on the first day of school, we leave ample amount of time for our students to get to know their locker, get to know their combination, and decorate their lockers. So just so you know, don't worry about that too much, but make sure that the children are reassured that they will have time, okay, to ensure that they decorate their lockers, because it is a big deal. In addition to the cafeteria, are there any outdoor tables for students to eat lunch each day? That's a very good question. We do have some tables available in the outdoors. The only thing we need to think through, because we don't have a lot of tables, is thinking about that had already been a question, by the way, since before the pandemic. So just know that we've been assessing that. But because if we allow the kids to go eat outside, that increases the number of supervision, and that could be a safety concern. So right now we are kicking off just with our plan of eating in the cafeteria. I want for you to know also, parents, that during a block of schedule, students have access to the first 20 minutes going to lunch bunch to catch up on an assignment, do this, do that. They eat like in 10, 15 minutes, and then we walk them out to recess, and they spend an ample amount of time outside walking and talking and socializing with friends. That's just a little view of what that looks like. Sorry about that. We would very much like virtual. Yes, thank you for that feedback. And we'll definitely, for Mule Camp as well, we can definitely talk through and we'll get back to you on that. So if you don't mind just sharing, yeah, we'll figure it out how we can communicate with you, a parent that's requesting a virtual option for Mule Camp. And just a reminder, parents, that the Mule Camp is only for students, for 6th grade students. So you get to drop off your child, and that has been the tradition and the practice. The students will be exposed to a quick presentation. When you drop them off, they will be getting their schedules. Then we're going to guide them to the auditorium. They wait there, and then we start the presentation right at 9. And then from there, they get a presentation just about all the procedures here at the junior school. They did get a little glimpse of that back in April when we had our 5th grade visits, okay, or back in the spring, latter part of the spring, just so you know. And then from there, they get to practice. They get to walk to see what it feels like to go to first period class, sit in the class, talk to the teacher. Teacher gives them an opportunity. I think it's the 2nd period teacher gives them an opportunity to work on their lockers. Before you know it, we wrap it up. We'll probably do a final tour just to kind of remind them kind of where things are. And then that's it. Pickup is right at 11 in the courtyard. Where is the Q&A documents? Yes, thank you for asking that. Just so you know, the Q&A document was attached as a link, and it will be sent to you again. But it was attached and sent to you on Tuesday via the email. If you didn't get it, please contact my secretary that was on this slideshow presentation, and we'll make sure you get access, because it's all through a Google Doc, and it's a live document, just so you all know. Yes, thank you for bringing up the precautions, parents, of the COVID. I know that people are wondering, hey, what is going on? How are we going to take care? Just know that we are currently finalizing some details at the administration level, and we're being, we are taking everything into consideration: Metro Health guidance, TEA guidance as well, everything we learned from the closure pandemic and all of that in the previous year, and we're making some final decisions, and will be shared with parents next week, so that you all have preview and have that information prior to the first day of school. One thing that obviously some people have been asking as well for virtual learning opportunities, and just know that TA did not fund that this year, so that would not be an option. But again, all those details are being finalized, and just also know that things are changing by the day, by the minute, by the second. So we just ask for your patience, please, as we just get some final decisions in place and share with all families and students by next week. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry, Josh. Yes, all of that definitely. I know that the main concerns do come from families that are not, they don't have access to the vaccination because they're under the age of 12. So we understand that, and just know that obviously with the mandate of the governor's mandate, there is he's prohibiting the fact of using and mandating the use of masks. But again, we're assessing that. And also, we also want to emphasize that mask usage as of now will be a choice as well, parents. And just to kind of give you, when we did have that face-to-face meeting last week, we did have some families ask the same questions, and it was addressed the same way. Just want to give you that information. I have had some concerns about maybe some parents shared like, oh, if my child decides to wear a mask, that can turn into a bullying or mistreatment situation because of their decision. And just know I'm working with counselors to ensure that we address that expectation, that we have zero tolerance for bullying and mistreatment, and it will be addressed. Just wanted to inform you. Thank you for offering the volunteering of supervision. At this time, we don't have final details as to what that would look like in regards to parent volunteers. We're not completely open to everyone, just like it was during last year. We still had we were limited to visitors. We will finalize all those details by next week, but we appreciate your willingness to volunteer for that. And we'll definitely take that into consideration. Yes, definitely, Maribel, your child will get their locker. As soon as you all access the schedule on August 11th, whether you want to come and whether your son wants to come and pick it up face to face between 1 and 3, or pick it up and then do the tour. He or your parent, your son will have access to that, okay? And they will show him around as to where the locker is so that they can get some practice. And particularly keep in mind that there was a nice high percentage of students that did not learn how to practice their combination. So we're taking that into consideration, definitely. Good question. I will encourage students, and we're going to share that, is we will not expect for any supplies to be brought on the 11th, just because time, it's a timing issue, and everyone is actually going to have an opportunity to do that through their first period class. That system really works really well. What's going to be super important, parents, is for students to know where their locker is, if they're either new to the district or again had an experience that were not on campus last year, or our little 6th graders that are coming in brand new, or anyone, even our 7th graders, again, that did not have access to their locker last year. So it will be very important, but we have information for parents regarding that, so that that's just again something that will be shared. I don't want to encourage, but I also, Maribel, that if you feel that your child wants to bring the supplies, we're not going to get into the weeds of that. We would just allow that student to just leave it in their locker. Okay. My daughter during Mule Camp can load her locker up with all the school supplies on the 11th. And again, it's possible, but I will tell you one thing, that the biggest thing and focus for kids is get to know their locker, our 6th graders, get comfortable with their combination. They spend a lot of time doing that. There will be a little bit of, there will be some children that will struggle with that. My own personal son, who's now a sophomore at the high school, when he came in as a 6th grader, like, whoa, he was just not mastering the combination. But we always have people around that teach our children. So that is a big deal. It's almost like a big step for our 6th grade students. And then definitely the decoration comes in next. And then if there's time, they're going to put their spiral notebooks or whatever it is they bought and put them in there. So if you can just focus more on the decoration piece, but if you want to bring all your materials, they can. It's just a little heavy for them to carry around sometimes, but it really is up to your child. Yes. Thank you. Thank you again for sharing that about concerns of campus food yet being open. Do we get our own combination locks for lockers? No, they actually already have a combination attached to the locker, just so you know. And what the child will get when your child has access to their schedule, and we will show them all of this when they come, they will have their name, etc., all their classes, what it looks like for a blue day, gold day, and then at the very top, it should have their locker number and their combination number. And that is what they'll use. And believe it or not, parents, most, if not all, kids do a really good job remembering their combination pretty quickly. But it's good for them to have it accessible somewhere, either on the cover of the binder, etc. So that would be super good to have. Yes, definitely. Will eighth graders get lockers? Absolutely. But just history has shown that eighth graders don't show a lot of interest in lockers, but they will have a choice. All our students will have a choice for that matter, parents. We wanted to give it a choice this year more than not because of the fact this has not been an experience at the junior school before. But this year, we may have some kids who may have some reservations about using their locker or congregating too much. They would rather just use their backpack or blend it a little bit. Use a backpack every once in a while and a locker, maybe check in a couple of times a day. So just FYI, there will be choice for lockers. Okay, so usage. Some children will choose to just use it at the very early in the morning, first period, and then just go before the end of the day to exchange materials, etc. But they will have, again, accessibility to lockers. All students will. The one thing I do want to highlight about backpacks, and we will share this with students and parents, remember that cell phones are prohibited on campus during 8:45 and 4 p.m. So phones need to be off at all times. We've always have said in their lockers, but if a student is carrying it in their backpack, just make sure, remind your child to turn off their phone. And the teachers will also do their due diligence to remind the students. Every once in a while, children forget. We're human. I forget things too, and it's okay. We're just going to give them a friendly reminder, and then just as long as it just doesn't become a habit that is ringing during school hours or during instructional time, because that can disrupt the learning environment. Just an FYI for that as a side note. Good stuff, parents. I know it's 10:35, but if there's anything else, these are all good questions. And if you do need to leave the meeting, remember this is going to be recorded. And all these questions, even though we've answered them, we will be sharing that through the Q&A document as well, which will be shared with you once again, the link. Absolutely, Lisa. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Thank you so much, parents. Where is the recording? The recording is actually being recorded right now, Amita, but I hope I pronounced your name correctly, ma'am. But just know that we will share this link as well. And if for whatever reason you did not receive the link on Tuesday, please go back to the email addresses I just shared in the PowerPoint, and you have access, or hopefully I can go back if you don't have it, and we'll send you the recording and we'll send you the link. It's not a big deal. Yes, cafeteria account. That's a very good question. If your child has never had a cafeteria account, I'm actually, Maribel, going to answer that through the Q&A. I don't want to mislead you in any way, but I do know that it's very potential that is through. One thing that I do know as a parent is that we do have, just if you go to our regular district webpage, you have different tabs at the top. And all you need to do is click on one and go to the department. And one of those tabs is going to say nutrition services or something like that, something with nutrition. You're going to click on that, and it's going to lead you to another page, and that should be able to give you guidance. And that's how I monitor my son's cafeteria account. And that's where you can also kind of, put some regulations. There you go. Thank you, Josh. Schoolcafe.com. That when you go to the webpage, it's not going to be schoolcafe.com right away, but you'll eventually go there. Okay, if you want to go that way. Good question. Appreciate it, Josh. Bam, helping each other out. I like that. Cómo no. Gracias, Maribel, lo que se le ofrezca. Y a todos los padres, disculpe que no tenemos esta grabación en español, pero quiero que sepan que por favor pueden llamar a la escuela para comunicarse conmigo. Tenemos todos los directores, Laura, Yarira, René y Liz, todos hablamos español, y también tenemos los consejeros que hablan español y otras secretarias, así que aquí estamos para ayudarles. ¿Está bien? Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. Thank you. Can you describe the new boys? Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for bringing that up, because that is totally new. We've always had the girls club and that is actually parents through the PTO organization. So our parent-teacher organization, what they do is they have come up with an experience for our girls, and we call it girls club, like an after-school club. It's a service club. It's after school. They engage in all kinds of service projects. And this coming year, just this year, we've opened it up to boys. So they will be exposed to the same. It's the same goal, the same vision, which is really to expose our boys and our girls. be meeting separately and to expose them to service projects. It's a great leadership opportunity. I know there is a fee that is attached to that, but you'll find more information through the link that I shared on my slide number 3, I believe, where it does have that PTO information. So just please, and then the UIL Club, we will be sharing more information as well, Amy, regarding UIL. We have Mr. Mike Snell here, and I'm not sure if he would like to answer, but he does help us oversee the UIL, and he's a great source as well. Anything you would like to add, Mike?
I think it's still on mute, Mike. You clicked on something though. Maybe you took it off. Put it on.
Whoops, sorry about that. Yeah, so we'll be doing that club fair, that organizational fair for students. I think it's early September, mid-September, to give them information about what the organizations are and how to get involved. But we also, for the academic teams, for the UIL clubs and the Science Olympiad and Science Bowl teams, we send out a separate parent invitation to a meeting to welcome you guys and kind of give you a general overview of what our programs consist of. So that information will be coming. We're excited. Things are back in person. Of course, we got to be safe. So we will figure out all those details as we roll with it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. And we will share also with parents just any other club opportunities. You'll hear more about interest groups. What does that mean for the junior school? So you'll hear all about that as we approach the beginning of the school year. Le quiero dar las gracias a Ana Mendoza. Muchas gracias por explicar aquí y ayudarle a Maribel. Se lo agradezco, Ana. Good job explaining that. Good job. Good questions, parents. Please feel free to ask. We still have some bonus minutes. We do want to conclude by 11, just so you know. Ms. Carrion, go ahead and ask the question. Thank you, ma'am. Sarai?
Yes, I'm sorry. Mi pregunta es
Adelante.
sobre mi hija tomó una clase avanzada para español 3 y afortunadamente pasó el examen. Ajá. Entonces, mi pregunta es, ¿qué pasa con su horario? No sé si va a tomar la clase ahí en la escuela o necesita trasladarla a la high school.
Sí, Sarai, no sé si platiqué con usted la semana pasada.
Sí, fui yo.
Bueno, Sarai, sí, le voy a dar la oportunidad a Claudia González que conteste la pregunta. And this question, parents, has to do with credit by exam, if I'm not mistaken, Claudia, or maybe, yes, advancing. If you don't mind just sharing a little bit about that, and then what if the child did pass their credit by exam over the summer? How is that applied so they can take more advanced courses in the fall? And I think you're on mute, sorry.
Okay. Oh, you need to turn your, oh, there you go. Okay, sorry. Credit by exam was given to students over the summer, and those are for students who feel that they are particularly advanced in a subject and they can test out and go into the next level subject. Sarith, para español, voy a tener que hablar con usted acerca del horario de su hija, porque como ustedes van a avanzar a español 4, necesito hablar con el high school para ver cómo podemos arreglar el horario para que pueda empezar el estudio allí. And so parents, if your child needs to take a high school class, and we work closely with the high school in order to make sure that their needs are being met and they're placed in the appropriate class. So we work very closely with you to make sure your student has the classes that they need.
Gracias. Thank you so much.
Y Sarai, nada más quiero que sepa que entre esta semana y la semana que entra va a haber bastantes conversaciones entre los consejeros de la prepa y los consejeros aquí de la secundaria. Nada más para que sepan, ¿ok? Así que a veces como se siente como que no nos estamos comunicando o tan rápido, pero no nos hemos olvidado de usted. Nada más lo que tenemos que básicamente decidir es que cuántos estudiantes tenemos y y si tenemos la clase en la prepa que los puede ofrecer a cierta hora del día, para que sea fácil para su hija, ¿verdad? ¿Su hija?
Sí, es mi.
Okay, para su hija y que sea un beneficio para todos, ¿verdad? Para su educación, sus necesidades, y la prepa y la secundaria.
Ok, sí, muchísimas gracias. Sí, quiero estar bien informada.
Claro que sí, I love that. Thank you very much. And any parents, any qualifications of credit by exam that happen over the summer, just know that lots of conversations are happening right now amongst counselors from the high school and the junior school to make sure we accommodate as much as we can. And if we're not able to accommodate, there will be a conversation because there will be another choice or another option or what else can we offer for your child to have the best learning experience. Lisa, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take your name right now, Lisa, and I'm going to have our coordinator, our special ed coordinator, to ensure that we provide an answer for you, and I'm sure we can accommodate something. I hope that answers your question. So like my immediate gut answer is yes, but I do want to make sure that we give you the customer service to give you a call to ensure that your needs are being met as well. Individualized. Good question, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Anything else, parents? If we don't have any specific questions, we can definitely end early and share again this presentation with all families. I just want to say how excited I am to launch my 9th year here at the junior school. Just a little background, I have taught at Cambridge. I did teach for 8 years, so it's such an honor to be part of this district, and my investment is huge. So I just want for you all to know that I love the middle school age. These children mean the world to me, and just thank you in advance for the trust that you have in me to lead the school and keep all our students safe and happy and ready to learn. It's a very unique age group, so just know that we do prioritize that. Yes, let's see. How the tryouts for specific sports, or is this something? It will be explained, Anna, through the athletic department later on. That's why those informational meetings are very important. So, for example, let's say you're thinking about basketball. You'll hear more about basketball tryouts, etc., as the season approaches. Sometime in November, December, etc. If it's about the beginning sports, which is volleyball, football, etc., you'll hear that information during that informational meeting that are going to happen, all these informational meetings that are happening next week. So that's it's good stuff. Good question, though, Anna. It's good question. Those are good questions. And I will say that our coordinators do a very good job communicating all these pieces of information. I know that Coach Stanford already sent out some information to parents because they usually CC me on that. They include me on the communication. So anything you feel disconnected about anyone, just please don't hesitate to reach out to us and we'll connect you right away. Good question. I know that whatever they did for one campus, they did do it for others. Just to be clear on that, because all our campuses were assessed. The question is, Cambridge Elementary installed MERV 13 filters and UV light last year across the entire campus. From what you understand as a parent, is this the same? That was definitely an assessment that was done for every single campus, and it was addressed based on needs. I hope that answers your question, but we can definitely coordinate a call for that. That's a very good question. Very good question. Una pregunta, ¿cuándo es la fecha para adquirir los uniformes de sport? Esa información, Sarai, va a ser parte de las juntas que van a tener los nenes de la semana que entra. Parece que era, déjame ver cuál es. Can one of you tell me which slide that was that Carla put together for us on athletics? If you don't mind. So I don't have to go back. Sí había una hoja, una parte de la presentación, Sarai, que tiene esa información para todos los nenes, para que compren sus uniformes, etcétera. Déjame ver a ver si, yo sé que René está buscando.
I think it's slide 8, right?
Okay.
The meeting information.
Yes, it's just that, yeah, from Carla, the meeting information. Sí, muy bien. La revisa, por favor, y ahí vas donde va. Now, for all other parents, which you'll be getting more of this information if you're thinking about sixth grade students, all students for that matter, even if they're taking regular PE, they do require a usage for them to purchase a uniform. You'll get more information about this. How much does it cost? When do I purchase it, etc. You'll get all those details next week those are like the final little details before we start the first day of school on the 16th. But just so you know, that will come, and that's again your child who's taking sixth grade math or who is, sixth grade PE or any PE, 7th or 8th PE. They still have to dress every day. It is part of the expectation. And of course, the athletes. That's the same uniform, just like what Sarai was asking. But it's the same requirement for them to utilize it. You make sure that they have their uniforms ready to dress out on the designated day that they have athletics or PE. Good questions about uniforms. I know that I just have a few more minutes, but just a reminder, parents, student planners, these really help our kids stay organized. So if you can please purchase that through the Mule Market, will be greatly appreciated. And hopefully your child will be able to, so that they can have access and be privy to this on the first day of school if possible, because we're going to start hitting our study hall to ensure that our kids are being taught organizational skills, study skills, and all of that. And it will be very convenient to have their student planner. So if you have any questions, you can definitely ask about that. Are there any standalone HEPA air filters in the classrooms or other gathering spaces at the junior school? I can get that information for parents and share that. This will be part of the Q&A, just so that I can get the count and all of that. So that that would be important to share with all families. Because if one family is wondering or two, there will be many others. So we'll add that as well, parents, to the Q&A. That's a very good question. Yes. For classrooms last year. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Cambridge, wondering if we can donate individual. Okay, thank you for asking that. We'll definitely look into, let me just do an inventory first, and then we'll take it from there. Good question. Love it, parents. Love it. Thank you. We're down to about 8 minutes. Nice. Parents, just a reminder, while I still have a few of you here, but again, this will be recorded about your HAC accounts, Home Access Center. If you're not used to utilizing the Home Access Center for grades, etc., or other portions of communication that people send, etc., just ensure that you have your account ready, because you will utilize it, your child will utilize it, and it's great to teach those responsibility skills for them to come to you and share any grades and have a great conversation every once in a while. I mean, it is part of the training and developing here at the middle school, but just definitely that. Thank you, Lisa. I know thank you very much, Lisa. I appreciate it. But I just want to take advantage of that hack. Just a reminder, if you are not used to using it, you will be using it at the middle school level for Home Access Center parents. And that should be, again, on that tab that says Students and Parents in our webpage. You'll have access to see how you can sign up to make sure you have your account. And if you don't remember your login information, you reach out to us and we'll help you. I want for all of y'all to know that I will stick around. If there's some private conversation you would like to have, I will rely on my counselors and my assistant principals because I do have a meeting at central office. But if you want to stick around and you need some privacy, we can always give you a call or we can do a quick little virtual meeting. And so that, that would be more private and it will not be recorded for those of you that would like some privacy.